What's up, everybody? It's Jared with Capture the Magic. And as we come to the end of 2025, one of the big things on the horizon for the Walt Disney Company is naming the next CEO that will take over, presumably for Bob Iger, if he doesn't have any plans to try and come back yet again. But the presumption is that they will be naming a new CEO very early in 2026. There's been lots of speculation on who that will be. Basically, it is down to Josh D'Amaro and Dana Walden. But it seems from Dana Walden's most recent comments that it could give us an idea as to who likely is going to be the next CEO. So in this video, we're going to go through an article where Dana Walden has talked about how she doesn't like this competition and is glad to see it come to an end. And there's some interesting tidbits in here. So we're going to read through this, talk about it, and get some thoughts on it. So this is from Cinema Blend, and it says, Dana Walden doesn't appreciate being pit against colleagues as race to see who replaces Bob Iger heats up. It says, this holiday season, what do you get the Disney corporate executive who has everything? Well, a few of them have something very special and hard to find on their wish list this year, becoming the next CEO of the Walt Disney Company. Disney has been working on deciding who will replace Bob Iger when he steps down as CEO of Disney at the end of 2026. Now, I do know that there's going to be people that are going to ask, do you think Bob Iger is really going to go away? Do you think he could come back? I actually do think that Iger will step down and not come back. One reason being his age, because even if Bob Iger steps down and then comes back into the picture again, a Bob Chapek 2.0 type situation, you're going to be in the exact same situation you're in right now, just later on down the road, which is the number one question is going to be, well, who's going to be the next CEO? Because Bob Iger is not a young man. So you would be in the same situation you're in right now, and I just don't think that will happen. Now, I think the bigger question is going to be, does Bob Iger actually go away, or does he mingle in all the things after the fact? I think that's a legitimate question and something that I don't think he should do. I think that's a really dumb thing if that's the case, but that is, I think, more of the worry there versus Bob Iger actually coming back. A final decision is supposed to be made early next year. One of the top candidates for the job is rumored to be Disney Studios co-head Dana Walden, and another is Disney Experiences chief Josh D'Amaro. A great deal has been written about the perceived strengths and weaknesses of the two and how they compare to each other, something Walden recently told Bloomberg that she's not a fan of. She said, quote, well, being pit against my colleagues I don't appreciate, because we have incredible relationships. We are a very tight organization. With Walden and D'Amaro reportedly the top candidates at the moment, a lot of what has been written in recent months has focused on which of them would be better at the job. This usually involves comparing their history and pointing out where one candidate may be stronger than another in certain areas. It's understandable how that might be a little frustrating considering we're talking about people who work together every day and probably like each other well enough, or might even be very good friends. I mean, who really knows? When you're talking about the corporate world, so much of it is just it can be a lot of going behind people's backs. They could be friends, or they could just put on a face. Who really knows? And there's a lot of reason for Walden to want to keep a situation like this as amicable as possible. Whoever becomes CEO will likely want to keep whoever doesn't get the job because they're good at what they do and will have an even closer professional relationship with them. Well, it can't be understated also. James Gorman is heading up this secession committee. It's not Bob Iger. It is James Gorman, who has head up a successful secession before. I believe it was at J.P. Morgan. And one of the things they did there, which they are doing now with this Disney one, is they are locking up top executives who do not become CEO into longer-term deals to keep them on board, many times giving them raises or promotions so that they don't go anywhere. And so I do think, I do believe it is going to be Josh D'Amaro at this point, is what everything is pointing to as the next Disney CEO, that Dana Walden and the other ones that are in the running for this, Jimmy Pittario and Alan Bergman, will all stay on because that is definitely something that they want to do. That is definitely something that's a goal of this secession committee. Disney has reportedly looked outside the company for potential CEO material. However, it doesn't appear that any outside candidates are top-tier picks. So, and I mind you, I have nothing to back this up other than just my outside perspective looking in. I'm not going to doubt at all that Disney has reached out to other CEOs outside the company to see if they would be interested. I wonder if a lot of them have turned this down because when you look at Disney, they have history, they've got lineage, all these things. But when you look at Disney, I mean, the parks make a ton of money, but they have a lot of competition now from Universal, and that's only going to continue to grow. There's lots of questions on the studio and streaming side. Disney has had some hits this year, but they've also had a lot of duds. So when you look at the company as a whole, there's a lot of questions. I mean, even animation is not what it used to be. Pixar and the Disney animated films. And so I do wonder if a lot of outside, CEO potential ones out there look at this and just say, that's not a situation where I really want to walk into. And you've even seen after some movies have come out, like Inside Out 2, Elio, where a lot of people that have worked on these movies end up speaking out after the fact of being upset about a lot of things being cut from them, most of them being things that relate to, pushing certain agendas out there that they're not happy were cut for movies. I could see a CEO from the outside looking in that just says, I don't really want to mess with all of that. That seems like a really big headache, and that is not something that I would, want to leave my current position for. And I think in many ways, the reason they're looking internally is probably because they couldn't find anybody from the outside that was really interested. So people inside the company became the number one targets for the next CEO. But I still contend there's an outside chance. You got Kevin Mayer and Tom Staggs, who were in the running for CEO the last go-around before Chapek was named the successor to Bob Iger. They currently run Candle Media. That would fit what I think would be the ideal situation for Disney, which is a dual CEO setup, because those two currently are dual CEOs when it comes to Candle Media. I don't know where I'd put those percentages. I don't put them very high, but they have been consulting with Iger throughout this entire process. They're familiar with how Disney's run. They're familiar with the parks. But, at this point, I think it's probably going to be, Diamaro, unless something drastically changes. All the messaging, all the, the signals coming out of Disney seem to be that it is going to be Diamaro, though. Walden's partner at the studio, Alan Horn, and ESPN president Jimmy Pittario have also reportedly been considered, but it doesn't appear that they have strong odds at this point. Do they mean Alan Bergman? I think that's who they meant there. Walden seems to indicate that Disney will be just fine regardless of who becomes the next CEO. She doesn't advocate for herself, but simply calls the Disney team, quote, world class, something that certainly won't change drastically after a new CEO is chosen. Walden continued, quote, I have enormous faith in where this company's going. There's a world-class team at this company who is navigating the path into the future. The last time Disney changed CEOs, it didn't go so well. Bob Chapek took over for Bob Iger in 2020. At a very suspicious time, I will just say. The timing of that to this day is very strange. Right before COVID really hit the United States, Iger all of a sudden just stepped down and handed over to Chapek kind of without warning. And I felt all along Iger knew something that, we all know now what happened, but he knew something ahead of time, undoubtedly. And while his contract was initially extended, he was ultimately replaced by a returning Bob Iger. Disney appears to be taking its time with this new transition to avoid a repeat of what happened before. Well, the main difference is Bob Iger is not in charge of choosing the next CEO. I'm sure he's involved in who they're going to choose, but it is James Gorman who is heading this whole thing up. And he has pretty good experience in this. And I don't think Iger is getting exactly everything that he wants necessarily. From what I have heard and read about, he's consulted, of course, but it is up to the board and James Gorman about who is going to be the next CEO. Disney has said that the new CEO will be chosen early in 2026. Once that person has been selected, they'll be working alongside Bob Iger during his final year as CEO.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Before taking over the company completely when Iger leaves at the end of 2026. Which I will say, the idea of Iger hanging around, I don't like that. I mean, I think whoever they choose, you can make an argument. Yeah, they got to show them the ropes and whatever that time period is. But whatever that period of time is, whenever you have this whole training up the next CEO process, whoever they choose, I do hope Iger just leaves pretty quickly, because him hanging around the company is not going to help anybody out, especially if a new CEO comes in here and wants to implement some change, which I do think Disney needs, a new vision, something fresh. Iger hanging around and if he does what he did under Chapek, which he undermined Chapek constantly, I don't think that's a great thing for the company. But this go-around is a little bit different. Last go-around, Bob Iger was chairman of the board, so Chapek reported to Bob Iger and the board. That does not seem to be the case this go-around, at least from what they've indicated how this will go. But in terms of Dana Walden's comments about not liking being pit against her colleagues, I can understand that, but at the same time, this is not rhetoric of somebody who is probably going to end up being the choice. I feel like these are the things that someone would say that kind of doesn't like the process here, isn't really liking the competition, because you would assume someone would like this competition to compete for this job. But I kind of get the idea from her statements here that she's essentially saying, it's not going to be me. We have a great team, and we're going to continue to go into the future. Like, she's not speaking like kind of how Josh D'Amaro is. Josh D'Amaro is very forward-facing out there in the public. He talks all the time. He's with Bob Iger, going to a lot of different things. D'Amaro has gone to a lot of these conferences where CEOs typically go, giving presentations. And so I think really all signs do point to D'Amaro. And I think these statements by Walden kind of reinforce that a bit here. So I think Disney, and maybe not Disney on purpose, but what, kind of being put out there and what the other publications have talked about, people inside of Disney kind of leaking out how this process has gone. I do think it is going to be D'Amaro. I think I put the chances of it being D'Amaro at like 99% at this point. I'd be shocked if it wasn't him. And the other 1% I actually put on Kevin Mayer and Tom Staggs being outside chance of dual CEOs coming in. And one reason that goes against Walden is I think her appointment as CEO would be viewed upon as being political. She's best friends with Kamala Harris. She's obviously had a little bit of a kerfuffle, I guess you could say, during the presidential debates and things of that nature. And so I think if you're Disney, if you want a potential fresh start, you want to get out of these culture wars, I actually think D'Amaro, for all of the questions about him, and listen, I'm not saying that I think D'Amaro is going to be a knockout success CEO. There's lots of questions with him. I do not like the way that the parks have been run and changed the past 5 years especially. Obviously, charging for things they didn't used to charge for, jacking prices up everywhere, the experience is going down. I don't like all of that, but I do think if you're talking about a CEO coming in that doesn't seem to have any political ties, I haven't heard anything about D'Amaro, which way he leans. I think that's actually a plus for this because it gives Disney the chance, and I will say the chance, potentially, to kind of get a fresh slate here, somebody coming in that doesn't seem to have any political leanings, that could take the company out of some of these culture battles and just get them refocused on the things that they should be focused on, which is when you're talking about the parks, guest experience, bringing that back. But again, there's questions about that. I don't know how much of the park changes are responsible solely, from Josh D'Amaro. How much of that is the C-suite and Bob Iger been encroaching on decisions in the parks? I do have questions about that because we know Iger has meddled in the studio side, undoubtedly. So it makes me think that he probably has meddled as well when it comes to the park side. But if you're talking about just optics alone and not really how they would perform the job, I think D'Amaro has a chance to be a good CEO, a good fresh start for Disney. Plus, if you just talk about where the money is made for Disney right now, most of it is made from the theme parks. And so D'Amaro taking over the company of somebody who runs the theme parks now, that's not as big of a risk in terms of the company itself versus Walden stepping in versus, she runs the studio side and then her stepping into the theme park side. Like, what does she know about that? That's a bigger risk than D'Amaro coming in, knowing the parks and not really knowing as much when it comes to the studio side. Because more than likely, you're still going to have Dana Walden, you're going to have Alan Bergman, you're going to have these people that are still there that can help with that process. So I'm not saying that I think D'Amaro is going to be a great CEO by any means. A lot of it is just unknown when it comes to him. But in terms of optics of, being good with people, being good in front of a camera, being able to relay a message and a vision of where you want to take things, I do think D'Amaro has that potential, has that ability to do that. And it would just have to be wait and see what changes he would make if he is the CEO. Would anything be changed for the better, or would it continue kind of how Iger has run things? I think that's the big question about anybody that's chosen from inside Disney, is if they would have their own, ideas of what they want to do, or would it just be an Igerite that's just going to continue to do the things that Bob Iger did, just with a different person in charge? Obviously, these are some questions that eventually will be answered, but I do think Walden's comments here kind of lend to the fact that it's not going to be her. And we've seen multiple, articles out there recently from Bloomberg and Wall Street Journal that, even people inside of Disney and other top executives have basically said that they also think it is going to be Josh D'Amaro. And even the people I know that work inside of Disney at various levels have been saying for like over a year, like, it's going to be Josh. Like, everyone's just basically said, like, they don't really know why they're making this out to be some big contest, considering that inside the company, it's pretty well known. So I don't think it's a big question necessarily at this point about who the next CEO is going to be, but I do think this kind of lends toward Josh D'Amaro being the next CEO. And, is he willing to make changes that Iger wouldn't like? I mean, that's going to be a big question, especially like during 2026. I imagine with Iger still there training him up, probably not going to make many changes there, one would assume. But, going forward, I suppose we'll have to wait and see how that would go. But as we get to the end of the year, I think it's getting pretty clear about who the next CEO is going to be. And then a whole other slew of questions are going to come about whoever is named here and taking over a company that has had some issues the past few years, undoubtedly, when it comes to culture wars and then, studio side being very up and down. And obviously the parks are making more money, but I think the guest satisfaction has been dwindling on that end if there's any major changes there. All of that will be very interesting to see how it plays out. But when there's more news about this and whenever they name the next CEO, we will talk about it on here and let you know about it. But for now, that is going to be it, though, for this video. So if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, who do you think the next Disney CEO is going to be? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.